Most men don't even realize they're chained to something that's silently destroying them. They wake up, go through the motions, scroll through their phone, and before they even think about it, they've already given away their power. It's just a habit, right? Just a quick release, just a little stress relief. But what if I told you that every time you do it, you're making yourself weaker, more anxious, and less attractive to women? What if I told you that this one habit is the reason you feel stuck, unmotivated, and invisible in your own life? Science has already confirmed it. Masturbation is rewiring your brain, killing your drive, and keeping you from becoming the man you were meant to be. And if you don't believe me, stick around, because once you understand the brutal truth, you'll never see it the same way again. 1. How masturbation destroys your ability to attract women. There's a secret. Most men don't realize women can sense when a man is leaking his power. They might not be able to explain it, but they feel it. The lack of drive, the absence of presence, the dullness in your energy. On the other hand, when a man is holding on to his energy, women notice, they feel the intensity in his gaze, the control in his posture, the unshakable presence in his demeanor, and the scary SC part, masturbation, is silently robbing you of all of that. Let's break it down. The science of sexual energy and attraction. Every man radiates an aura, an unspoken energy that either pulls people in or repels them. When you're constantly masturbating, you're depleting your life force energy, the very thing that makes a man magnetic, dominant, and attractive. Studies show that after ejaculation, a man's testosterone levels drop significantly for up to a week. And testosterone isn't just about muscle growth or aggression. It's the hormone responsible for confidence, dominance, sex appeal, risk-taking behavior. When your testosterone is high, you walk differently. You make eye contact like you own the room. You speak with conviction, without second-guessing yourself. Women pick up on this instinctively. It's biological. They are wired to be drawn to men who exude power and control. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine a man who has just finished watching porn for the 3rd time that day. He's slouched. His eyes are dull. His energy is low, and he carries himself like he's hiding something. Which man do you think women are naturally drawn to? Exactly. Think about the most high-value men in history. The conquerors, the innovators, the leaders. Do you think they were sitting in dark rooms, staring at screens, wasting their energy on meaningless pleasure number? They were channeling that energy into building empires, leading nations, and winning over the most desirable women. And that's what you need to understand. Every time you release, you're giving away the energy you should be using to conquer your own world. Men who retain their energy become sharper. They make better decisions. They dominate conversations. They move with purpose. Meanwhile, men who are constantly draining themselves become passive. They hesitate. They overthink. They become invisible to women. The powers shift. When you stop, everything changes. Ever notice that when you stop masturbating for a while, women start looking at you differently? It's not magic. It's not a coincidence. It's because you're radiating the energy of a man who has control over himself. When you hold on to your energy, your presence changes. You become more focused, more assertive, more driven. You stop caring about chasing women because you naturally attract them. You stop putting them on a pedestal because you recognize your own value. And ironically, that's what makes women start chasing you, because now you're different. You're not just another man desperate for validation. You're a man on a mission, and there's nothing sexier than that. 2. The hidden psychological cost of masturbation. There's a reason you feel empty after you do it. Not just physically drained, but mentally, like something inside of you just evaporated. And it's not just guilt, not just a fleeting shame, it's something deeper. A slow creeping erosion of your power. Society won't tell you this hell, they'll encourage it. They'll say it's normal, that it's healthy, that it's just releasing stress. But let's be real for a second. When was the last time you finished and thought to yourself, wow, I feel like a stronger man now? Exactly, because what they don't tell you is this. Masturbation isn't just a physical act, it's a mental trap, a silent killer of your drive, your confidence, and your ability to dominate in life. Let's break it down. Your brain is wired for rewards. Every time you accomplish something, a win at work, hitting the gym, even making a woman laugh, your brain rewards you with a surge of dopamine. It's the neurochemical that fuels motivation, ambition, and focus. But here's where it gets dangerous. Masturbation gives you the illusion of a win without the actual victory. Your brain doesn't know the difference between earning something and faking it. When you watch porn and get off, your brain thinks we did it. We won, we got the girl. Even though in reality, you did nothing. And just like that, your ambition dies a little. The more you do it, the more your brain gets used to cheap dopamine. Instead of working toward real-life rewards, your brain starts craving the shortcut. Why work for something when you can just click a button and get the same chemical rush? But here's the catch. It's never the same over time. Your brain adapts. What once gave you a high now barely moves the needle. So you chase more extreme content, longer sessions, riskier behavior. And all the while your real-life motivation is fading, your energy is depleting, and you're losing your edge without even noticing. Ever notice how you feel different when you go a few days without doing it? More focused, more confident, more alive. That's because your body is holding on to something most men throw away daily. Your vital energy. Ancient warriors, emperors, and philosophers understood this. They knew that Sean wasn't just fluid. It was power. A literal life force that when conserved made men sharper, stronger, and more dominant. Modern science backs this up. When you retain, your testosterone levels rise, your voice deepens, your eye contact becomes more intense. Women notice it. Men respect it. You start moving differently, speaking differently, thinking differently. Why? Because suddenly you're not leaking your power. Most guys waste this energy, spilling it down the drain. Then wonder why they feel tired, unmotivated, invisible to women. But when you stop, when you hold on to it, that same energy doesn't disappear. It gets redirected into everything you do. Your workouts become more explosive. Your focus becomes razor sharp. Your presence becomes magnetic. You go from being just another guy in the crowd to someone who commands attention without saying a word. Beyond the science, beyond the psychology, there's something even deeper at play here. Something that touches your very soul every time you indulge a small part of. You knows it's wrong. Not because of society, not because of some outdated moral rule, but because your inner warrior feels the drain. Masturbation doesn't just weaken your body. It weakens your spirit. It conditions you to seek pleasure instead of conquest, to escape reality instead of dominating it, to become a spectator in life rather than a competitor. And that is the ultimate cost, because the more you give in, the more you train yourself to be comfortable with mediocrity, to accept a life that is less than what you're capable of. And if you keep going down that road, you wake up one day, a shell of the man you could have been. But here's the good news. You can stop right now. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow. Not next week. Now, not because someone told you to. Not because of guilt. But because you owe it to yourself to reclaim your power. Because deep down you know you were built for more than this. 3. Why masturbation is making you weak, anxious, and depressed. Ever wonder why? After finishing, you feel drained instead of fulfilled. Why there's an odd sense of emptiness, like something inside you just got taken away. That's because something was taken away. Your power, your drive, your fire. And if you've been wondering why you feel anxious, unmotivated, or even depressed, you might not realize that your daily habit is the silent culprit. The link between porn, masturbation, and depression, science has already exposed the truth. Excessive masturbation rewires your brain in the worst way possible. Here's how your brain is flooded with dopamine every time you watch porn. Over time, your dopamine receptors weaken, meaning real life pleasures no longer excite you. You start feeling numb, unfocused, and detached from reality. This is why nothing feels as exciting anymore. You find it hard to concentrate. You lose interest in things that once motivated you. You feel like you're constantly chasing a feeling that never lasts. And here's the worst part. This cycle doesn't just steal your happiness, it makes you weak. How masturbation strips you of masculine power. There's a reason ancient warriors, philosophers, and emperors warned against wasting energy. They knew that a man's seed wasn't just something to throw away, it was his very essence. When you hold on to it, your body gets a signal: we're in warrior mode. We need to be sharp, aggressive, and focused, but when you release constantly, your body says, oh, we must have already won, let's relax. No need to fight, no need to conquer, and that's when the weakness sets in. Your drive fades, your confidence takes a hit, your willingness to take risks disappears. You become passive instead of dominant, hesitant instead of assertive. You feel off, but you can't explain. Explain why masturbation is training you to be a spectator in life. Here's the brutal truth. Every time you sit in front of a screen watching other people experience pleasure instead of creating your own, you're conditioning yourself to be a spectator, not a player. Think about it. Instead of going out talking to real women, building real connections, you're sitting alone, eyes locked on a screen, giving your energy to pixels over time. This kills your social skills. You start seeing women as objects rather than real people. You get awkward, nervous, unsure of yourself in conversations. And when you do meet a woman in real life, your mind is so polluted with fantasy you can't even be present. She senses your lack of confidence, your lack of authenticity. And just like that, she's gone. The escape that's killing you. Most men don't even realize they're using masturbation as a coping mechanism. Bored, masturbate; stressed, masturbate; lonely, masturbate; feeling like a failure. Masturbate instead of facing their problems, they escape into pleasure. But here's the thing. You can't escape forever, the problems don't go away. They grow. Your confidence continues to erode, your ambition continues to die. Your life continues to feel smaller and smaller until one day you wake up and realize you've been running from yourself all along. The simple truth you were built for. More deep down, you know it. You weren't meant to live like this. You weren't meant to be stuck in a cycle of instant gratification, wasting your energy on a screen while the real world passes you by. You were meant to conquer, to build, to dominate. And it all starts with one simple choice. Stop leaking your power, not just for a day, not just for a week, but long enough to feel the difference. Because once you do, there's no going back. Your energy will return, your confidence will rise, your hunger for life will reignite, and for the first time in a long time, you will feel alive again. If this hit you hard, subscribe to Stoic Guide for more insights that will make you unstoppable. Your future self is waiting. Don't keep him waiting any longer.